What's up, you guys? It's Rob here. Today I'm covering ticker symbol AMC. We'll be covering on the daily, weekly, and monthly time frame in anticipation of tomorrow's trading day, April 21st, Wednesday. I need a hump, especially after the technical difficulties I've had tonight, but video's going to happen and you guys are going to get it. I'm dedicated to this, so do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure that you turn on that bell for this. So without further ado, let's hop in here and cover AMC for the day. So overall, I just want you guys to keep in mind the broader market did definitely sell off today a lot, and we've had two really negative days. Yesterday we actually did have a positive day. Today we had a negative day. The huge thing though is we didn't test our psychological support at $9. We did break through our support at $9.25. However, we did test it a couple times to just kind of make it a little stronger support, which is a good thing. But really, when we're taking a look here, the couple things I want to highlight on the 1 minute, 1 day chart is this VWAP. So this VWAP stands for the volume weighted average price. And what that means is if you were to buy the stock today, well, the market's closed now, but you can't. If you were to buy the stock today, you would technically have been losing money on the position that you bought today because we were trading below the VWAP, which is a very bearish sign. However, if we were on the flip side of this, let's say, and we were above the VWAP, what you would have done is if you bought the stock today, you would have made money off of buying the stock today, kind of thing. So that's kind of the cool thing about the VWAP, and it's definitely one thing I'm going to have in there because it does give a micro perspective of if it's bearish or bullish kind of thing. So to take a look down here at the MACD, we are very overextended here pretty much the whole entire morning. We did cool off, which is a good thing. So I'm happy to see that. The next thing that I really want to highlight is within the 5-day, 5-minute chart, and just take a look at how overextended we are here on the MACD. This is today, and then this is Friday. We pretty much rivaled the volatility, and we made a move from essentially $10 all the way down to 909, and today we went from 970 to 901. So it's a similar kind of move, and we introduced a lot of volatility, which is going to put implied volatility up through the roof a little bit. So we definitely need a day to cool off. Yesterday was a positive day to the upside, and we pretty much did a good bit of consolidation, which is good for the stock. Tomorrow, I'm hoping that we're going to have more consolidation because we do want to bring that implied volatility back down. But taking a look here, the RSI is sitting at 44.10. And if we look at the MACD, we are definitely in bearish territory into the close. We have the MACD, we have the signal crossing over the MACD, and we're headed back below the equilibrium, which is a bearish indicator. In addition, we do have the 120-day moving average and 30-day moving average. We were below the 120-day the whole entire day. The 30-day, we actually were trading above it for a little bit, but these two indicators are very indicate past movement. They're not future indicators, but when we put them together with the RSI and the MACD, we can kind of get an idea of what we might be seeing. But the huge thing I really want to do is I want to hop out to this month time frame and take a look at this month time frame. And really there's 3 channels that we've been trading between for the past month. It's either been $8.75 to $9.25, $9.25 to $10, or $10 to $10.50. And if I were to rank those in order from greatest strength to least strength, we would be looking at $10 to $10.50 being the greatest, $9.25 to $10 being the second, and then $8.75 to $9.25 being the weakest. Now, the huge thing is we're trading in the second channel, which is bullish in my perspective personally. And I really think we can get back above that $10 mark, but it's going to take a lot for us to get above that mark. But taking a look at the RSI here, we're sitting at 38.20, and then we are definitely in bearish territory because the signal is above the MACD here on the 1-month time frame. Now, what I really want to do is hop out here to the 3-month time frame. I drew up this wedge that I really see us kind of getting into because we're consolidating a little bit over time, and we're consolidating really in the downward direction, which isn't a good thing. And we are trading below the 30-day and 120-day moving averages, which is a bearish indicator. We are sitting here 39.83 on the RSI, and then the MACD, if we were to zoom in here, is got a bearish indicator also. So definitely all the indicators from a technical, macro, and micro perspective are pointing to a bearish move towards tomorrow. Hopefully we have a bullish move, but I definitely think given the greater market and how the greater market is trading, I think it's definitely going to be a bearish move. I hate to say it, but the huge reason why I drew up this wedge here is because I personally can see we're in the next week or so, given the fact that got positive news behind us, all these new rulings and filings and all that kind of stuff. And then also from the technical perspective of taking a look at this stock, we're trading within this essentially wedge, and we're getting tighter and tighter within it. And what I'm looking for really within the next 7 days is 7 or 8 days is to make a move to either the upside or downside, because we're consolidating into this and it's only going to get tighter kind of thing. And what I've done is I've drawn it from the high and the most recent low. So the low on 217 and the high here on 315, and kind of drew it in to where they kind of divert and they connect together, so we can get a rough idea of what our top and our bottom looks like if we're following these kind of trend lines. And then the huge thing is I've been looking for 3 contact points. That's how I establish my trend lines. So we have 1 contact here, 2, 3, 4. So we can draw this line down. We have 1 here. We have 2, 3, 4 at least there. And then we have in here. So we have a nice wedge going here. But the huge thing to take a look at is over the next 7 days, what are we going to do? Are we going to break to the upside, or are we going to break to the downside kind of thing? And I'm hoping we're going to break to the upside. And if we break to the upside, I'm going to be looking at roughly, not a trend line, this horizontal line. I think we're going to be looking at about roughly 1130, 1125-ish, because I think that's where we're going to break over to, because we got this top here and then we have this top here. So I'm looking for us to make a third top, hopefully, and make that bullish move to the upside. And getting back up to 1125 would definitely put us in a very bullish territory kind of thing. So, but let's go ahead and hop over here into Ortex and take a look at the short interest change. Now, the huge thing that I want to talk about with short interest is anything above 20% is considered a heavily shorted stock within Wall Street. That is a huge factor. Now, the current short interest right now is at 96.85 million. And on March 31st, it was reported at 73.82 million. So that's a huge difference. And when we take a look at the shares borrowed today, it was 2.83 million, and the return shares was 1.78 million. So there's still an outstanding balance of 1.5 million. The utilization is sitting extremely high at 99.93, and the current cost to borrow within Ortex is listed at 7.23. Now, when we calculate cost to borrow, the huge thing is cost to borrow is going to increase on a positive day. So if we have a positive day tomorrow, the cost to borrow is going to increase, not just because we had a green day, but also because if we take a look at the utilization, which is currently at 99.3. So if we have a green day, it is harder for a short position to come out profitable, versus if we have a red day, it is easier for them to come out profitable. So that is one factor. And then on top of that factor, if you add that and then the utilization together, you get your cost to borrow, which is essentially saying to the shorter, hey, I'm going to need this much money because this is a risky move to a certain degree kind of thing. So that is how we really calculate cost to borrow. So the other thing I really want to highlight is the fact that there's 150.59 million shares on loan, which is insane. That is a lot of shares. And if we take a look over here within Webull, our current free float is 417.66 million shares. So our short position is roughly about is more than a third of what our current free float is. That is insane, guys. This is all-time high short interest for AMC. And we can drop this yellow line in here, which is the estimated short interest of free float, and it's only increasing. And it's higher than what it was when we squeezed back in January. So if someone were to ask me, could we squeeze? Yes, we could absolutely squeeze. The next thing that I would point to is, what does our volume look like? Because our volume lately, trading 26 million shares, we're not going to be able to have a squeeze with 26 million shares. What we're going to need is a day like back here when we had 144 million shares. We're going to need volume to step in to help drive up buying pressure, and then couple it with the short interest, and we should have a more probable squeeze kind of thing. If we're trading 21, 27 million shares within a day, it's not going to be enough volume to cause a squeeze, guys. So, and I know all of us want a squeeze to occur, but I can tell you right now, it's definitely going to be a difficult thing with a squeeze to occur when we don't have the volume. So that's the huge thing that I'm going to be looking at. But if you guys can, do me a huge favor, drop a like down on this video for the technical difficulties that I had. I'm so sorry about that, and thank you guys so much for pointing out very quickly. And if you guys can, also hit that subscribe button and make sure that you ring that bell and turn on the notifications. And then if you do like Webull, I do have my referral link down below in the description. You do get 2 free stocks valued between $8 and $1,600. Once again, one when your account's approved, and then the other when you deposit $100 on the platform. And then I also do get an additional free stock as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.